The triangle of life. Hello, my friend. This is Clyde. Imagine I'm leading a conversation using a mathematical figure. That is a joke. Let's just say mathematics is not my favorite academic exercise. However, I'm going to talk about the triangle of life, how we need to have the third side to have a complete triangle. I think I want to construct our chat around the isosceles triangle, which is that triangle that has two equal sides, which means that the third side is not the same measurement as the other two. The background to the story is that there are typically three sides to most, if not all, stories, and you and I want to find ourselves on the side that is not equal to the other two. In the court of public opinion, there is your side, my side, and the truth. We so badly need the third side. That will set us free. There is this story in the Bible that reflects the isosceles triangle. Two sides are equal. It is the story of the woman caught in adultery. Let me just say that there is some contention as to where in the Gospels this story belongs, but currently it is found in John 8 verses 1 to 11 in the more modern translations and with a duly established explanation. Even the location of the story is controversial. A woman was caught in the act of adultery in a country that is governed by Mosaic laws. And what was the law about adultery? Number 7 of the 10 commandments simply says, "You shall not commit adultery." Exodus 20 and verse 14. Then there is what I call the amendment to the law, which says, if a man commits adultery with another man's wife, with the wife of his neighbor, both the adulterer and the adulteress are to be put to death. Leviticus 20 and verse 10. Well, here was Jesus teaching a large congregation in the temple one day when the teachers of the law and the Pharisees brought in a woman caught in adultery. They made her stand before the group and said to Jesus, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. In the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. Now what do you say?" They were using this question as a trap in order to have a basis for accusing Jesus. John 8 verses 3 to 6. If this was before a judge, the case would be in trouble because by definition the crime of adultery is between a man and a woman, and at least one of whom is married to someone else. We discovered, however, that this was not about justice. They really wanted to use this story to trap Jesus on some finer details of the law, to see which side he was on. What are the two equal sides? One, there is a side that anyone caught in the act of adultery should be put to death. This woman is supposed to be put to death. Secondly, and this is not in the law, but sounds like something that occurred sometimes, and it is that the offender or offenders could be forgiven. Remember David in 2 Samuel 11 and 12, he committed adultery with Bathsheba, who was not his wife. God forgave him, and after he confessed. Psalm 51. Jesus realized that if he chose the first option of death by stoning, he would be affirming wholeheartedly in support of the ancient laws, and he would be like the people who brought the woman to him. He would be an unforgiving person. On the other hand, if he forgives her then and there, he would be seen as someone who was condoning wrong things and didn't show much respect for the ancient laws of Israel. Two sides of the triangle are equal. Damned if he agrees to her being stoned, and damned if he says she should not be forgiven. Well, Jesus created the unequal and surprising third side of this triangle. He threw out a challenge. If there's anyone here who is without sin, throw the first stone. Go ahead and be identified as a sinless person. All the accusers dropped their stones and left. Jesus asked, "Woman, Where are your accusers? Has no one condemned you? The woman replied, No one, sir. Jesus speaks words that completed the triangle that day for this woman. Then neither do I condemn you. Go now and live your life of sin. Our lives are filled with situations that in one instance we deserve to be punished, to be fired immediately, to be left to die in prison, to be refused to be given food even though you are out begging on the streets. We are so good at meting out justice to those we think have done egregious things. Even in church, we apply that level of absolute judgment. There are others who are always calling out for forgiveness to those who offend because they claim to feel compassion on the offenders. Jesus comes in with a third choice. Those who are adjudicating are guilty of something. You might have been caught with a pack of paper as you left the office, but the one who wants you fired immediately is someone who has been sleeping around with one of the girls in the office. Jesus challenges us not to stone or absolve the guilty person. Rather, Jesus challenges us to not be so quick to judge others when we are guilty of something ourselves. The unequal third side. God is like that. He does not stone us when we deserve to be stoned. He doesn't let us off from being stoned because we did something wrong. But the amazing and compassionate God speaks a third side. This God of grace lets you hear something, that He is not condemning you, and He sets you off to go choose to live a life of righteousness. He says if we confess our sins, He is faithful and just to forgive us of our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. 1 John 1 and verse 9. I love a God who closes up the triangle with an unequal side of love and great grace.